America. Currently, it is about 1/3 of the entire population of the United States is considered obese. That's about 35% of the population, so that's roughly 76 million people. As you and I are going to be the next generation of adults, I think it is important that we learn to deal with this issue, or at least learn the three main causes of obesity. The reason I took interest in this subject was one time during high school, I actually got a call to the office because I have a grandma. It was adopted, but I wanted to research it because genetically her family was overweight, and she had a minor heart attack. Luckily she was okay, but this got me interested in the subject of obesity. First is genetics. Basically, according to the American Journal of Nutrition, 50% of people with obesity, it's because of their genetics. There's many factors. A few suggested that the genes that are related to obesity can be recessive. Doesn't mean it's constantly. Just because your parents are obese doesn't mean you are going to be, but you have a 50% chance of. There's three main genes that are primary causes of obesity. The first one is leptin. This gene has been linked to the obesity hormone. It's called the obesity hormone. I'm not sure why. Then there's ghrelin, and correct me if I'm saying this wrong, and if you guys know. It is a gene that makes the appetite hormone with that food. It makes food look better. And then there's neuropeptide Y. This is the chemical in your brain that influences the reward system when you're eating. So you're thinking, I have a big reward for eating this food. And it affects your stress levels and mood levels after eating the food. So, and the next topic will be behavioral aspects. This is food, this is when food is used as a coping mechanism. Basically, the cycle is, I am overweight, I'm obese, I am going to eat more, and then I feel better, and then I become more depressed and stressed because I just feel guilty about eating, and then the cycle starts over again. One of the things about eating behavior is it is a disorder. There's also NES, which is it's a nighttime eating syndrome. This is when you eat 35% of your portions after the evening meal. So it's like you get up, you eat, and your body cannot metabolize that before you go to bed. And about 1% of the entire population has NES. So, and I myself eat at night, so I'm horrible at that. There are also environmental factors. One of the main things I came across was family habits. Family habits, like eating habits, increases the likelihood that a child, if you were actually eating as a family, will eat healthy foods. Because they're not on the go, they have a fully cooked meal, and so it's very healthy for that as a child. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, families in lower income areas are more obese by ratio than higher income. And usually this pertains to people not having access, not having the resources to go out and buy healthy foods. Instead, they're stuck with unhealthy alternatives. And we had some PowerPoint that showed some unhealthy alternatives. Then you have your work sites as an environment. Just like the school, there's vending machines in Fairmount. Now they accept credit cards to buy food, unhealthy food. So that does not help whatsoever. And we do spend about 33% of our time at work. And lastly, the Federal Trade Commission has estimated that about $10 billion has been spent on food advertising for soft drinks and unhealthy beverages and unhealthy foods. 1.6 billion of that has been targeted to children. If you ever think about Tricks Are for Kids, it literally says tricks are for kids. It's like advertising specifically for kids for unhealthy foods. I used to be a manager at Pizza Hut for 3 years. One of the things that we did during our meetings, we'd actually look at the amount of bookets that we would give out to kids for reading. And those were these unhealthy little pan pizzas full of cheese, sauce, and whatever else they could throw on there. And we just give them out to them, get them hooked on it. So basically, to conclude, it is a combination of environmental, behavioral, and genetic factors that factor into obesity. The one thing I want to stress though is it can be genetic. So the next time you hear somebody say, "Oh my God, that person's so fat," or that person's a fat ass, don't. It's genetic. It can be something very hard to live with, and it has some pretty bad health effects. And that wraps up my speech for today.